Now that wouldn't be some kind of product placement, would it? Nah, no way. So I'm going to make a little video. It's going to be a walk around on a Honda Prelude. This is, I think, second or third generation. I'm not too knowledgeable on these things. It's a 1986 Honda Prelude. It's the 2-liter SI motor. Really peppy. Especially for how much the car weighs. It's all stock. But what do we got here? 185, 65, 14s. They're pretty wide. I lay my hand across them. They're probably about 7 inches wide. So it's a great little handler. I think once upon a time this one might have been red. Not positive. One of the cool features on it is that it's got these little vents on right here for the window, so I guess you can defrost it that way easier and faster. And it's also got, well, this one's complete over here. It's a little vent on the door, and that's your side vent. Even though this one's missing the thing, hot air still comes out of this, and it all mates together right there with the door and all that. It's got power windows. It has a lot of features that in this year car just didn't have, like one touch down on the driver's side. There's this little switch that says main on, or you do that and it's off. That actually controls the passenger side window, and I think it even locks out your control from the driver's side too, so it just won't work. Power mirrors, of course. On an 86, I just think this stuff's impressive. This one has an automatic. It's a 4-speed, and it still has a little dead pedal over here so that when you're rocking through the corners you don't fall out of your seat. Speaking of seats, this one has seat covers on it. It's not in that bad a shape. As you can see, it's really, they hug you quite a bit, so they're good for the corners. And then right down here on the driver's side you got your little release for the gas door and the trunk, and a little lockout key so that you can't get into the trunk in case you valet park it and don't want someone getting your valuables. The headlights are the pop-up style. It's got this little button that you push and they pop up on their own, or you just turn the switch and they'll pop up. You can hear them coming on. Ta-da! A lot of these Hondas you see with them stuck up in the air. The sunroof is right here, the control for it. This whole thing's kind of loose, and it doesn't open on its own. Yeah, so it's got a sunroof too. That's awesome. It's got a manual opener thing where you can stick like an Allen wrench or something in it and roll it down. Gauge cluster. This one has 193,000 on it. And the speedometer doesn't work unless you lift the e-brake up just a little bit while driving, and then the speedometer works. I have no idea what causes that. And you have more cruise control things on the steering wheel here. Climate control stuff. This one's stuck on heat all the time. Doesn't like to move, and so that sucks. And I guess factory deck had all sorts of cool adjustments for it. Defroster works awesome. This doesn't work right now because the front blinkers got all buggered up, and it has a little clock in the center of your dashboard and a nice little cubby up there too. So it's really kind of a cool car for how old it was. And this is the glove box. Doesn't like to stay closed, so you get to drive around with a light on it all the time. The back seat's pretty much non-existent. I'm sitting in the driver's seat and I can reach back and touch the back here. Leg room doesn't really exist. When you have the seat where you're comfortable at, I don't know if you can see it, but it's about 3 inches of leg room right there. Yeah, you can fit back there, but I don't know if you'd want to. Rear seat folds back too, and it has a lock right there, the little round thing that locks it so you can't just pull it open. The little dome light has a cool feature. When you shut the door, it dims out slowly. I thought only new cars did that. broken antenna. We'll get ourselves into the trunk. This little spoiler thing is all soft plasticky stuff. Weird. And it's got a decent trunk for a tiny little car. It's not bad at all. It says Prelude on the back when yours isn't all messed up like mine. And one problem with mine is the transmission is having some issues. I bought it from a guy that works at a transmission shop. He said it was fine, but it's not. This one right now is liking to start off in first gear, skip second, and shift straight to third. Because second slips quite a bit. It's avoiding it. And a couple times it's even started off in third gear, which is just weird. Now, the transmission dipstick is way down there. You can see the little metal cap. You gotta stick your arm under here, try not to burn yourself on the rat hose. It's kind of interesting to get to. And it also wouldn't start the second day I bought it, and the coolant temperature sensor was messed up too, dumping too much fuel in and not letting it start once it got warmed up. I think that's about it. Oh, and the hood opens kind of backwards, but it's pretty cool. Alright guys, hope you enjoyed it. I'm also trying to sell it here soon, buggered up transmission or not.